So Bernie Sanders got booed. He went to the She the People forum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The women in the audience wanted to hear specifics, and Bernie Sanders did not answer the question. That's what the boos were for.
And that means, by the way, not only specific plans and programs, it means a fundamental change in the culture of this country. Discrimination of all forms has got to end, period. And you do that using the bully pulpit, and you use that doing legislation.
What should he have said?
Answer. I think he needs to talk about specifics.
Like what? What was the right answer?
Let's talk about pay equity.
We will not accept discrimination in the workforce. It means that we will end the absurdity of women in general making 80 cents on the dollar compared to men, and minority women making a whole lot less than that. When we talk about minority communities, when we raise that federal minimum wage to a living wage of $15 an hour, you're going to do away with a lot of economic stress in this country.
Let's talk about discrimination. Let's talk about making sure that families, no matter where they are, no matter what color, have quality education.
Every person in this country, regardless of color, regardless of income, has the right to get a higher education, because we're going to make public colleges and universities tuition free. And we are going to very substantially end the burden of outrageous levels of student debt in this country.
Access to affordable health care, all the other issues that Democrats talk about, and tailor it
do everything I can to help
constituency you're
lead this country.
And when we talk about justice, we are also talking about the massive levels of racial disparities that exist in this country. It's not just that we need health care for all people. We need to address the fact that infant mortality in the African-American community is 2.5 times what it is in the white community.
And it sounds like you're demanding he say the exact words that are in your head.
No, I'm demanding that he speak in more than platitudes.
As President of the United States, I will appoint Supreme Court justices and nominate justices all across the board who will represent the needs of people of color, of working people, and who are prepared to believe and fight for justice, not just the people on top. But I think what we can do is something fairly novel, is that after a member of the Supreme Court serves for a certain period of time, perhaps 12 years or so, that justice then rotates to an appeals court. That'll give you some fresh blood.
I do believe this country needs a constitutional amendment enshrining the rights of women.
I do.
The political system in this country has been the default. What do white men think? What do white working class men think? And now that we have more representation and the electorate, we're going to be a majority-minority country in 2046. And so now we actually have to have representation that reflect the electorate and talk about the issues and how they impact people of color.
My administration will look like America. Representatives from people who understand the pain and the struggle that working people and minorities are currently feeling. It will be an administration reflecting all of our people who are prepared to stand up for economic, social, and racial justice.
Black people, but black unemployment is double white unemployment.
And then within the midst of all of that income and wealth disparity at a national level, we have racial disparities as well. White families have 10 times the wealth of black families.
I'm saying that people vote based on the policies that will specifically target the issues in their communities.
We have got to take on a broken, racist criminal justice system and bring about real reform which ends the absurdity of the United States having more people in jail than any other country on earth. That in the criminal justice system, African Americans get arrested far more frequently than whites. We've got to end the war on drugs and legalize marijuana.
Issues affect different groups of people differently.
So the goal that we have got to establish is to bring our people together around an agenda that speaks to all people. We cannot transform this country unless millions of people, black and white and Latino, Asian American, Native American, stand up and take on the very powerful, greedy special interests who dominate the economic and political life of this country.
Ladies, Senator Bernie Sanders, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It sounds like you're demanding he say the exact words that are in your head.